Today, I'm announcing another $2.9 billion in U.S. support for life-saving humanitarian and food security assistance for this year alone.
Happy lunch hour, guys. Yup, that was our illustrious president speaking in front of the United Nations yesterday, explaining how the United States was going to give $2.9 billion worth of food aid for the rest of this year, all 3 months of it, to the rest of the world, while ignoring all of us here back at home. Okay, where Joe was patting himself on the back for how much of your money he was spending, $1 billion a month to feed the rest of the world. He might have forgot a couple of these facts. Okay, 12% of the population of the United States struggles with hunger, about 41 million people. There are 38 million Americans that struggle with poverty. Households with children that are headed by a single woman have the highest rate of food insecurity. Mind you, that's pretty much about half of the households with kids in them. 16.7% of all children do not know where their next meal is coming from. 22 million children rely only on the schools to eat. 12% of senior citizens are food insecure, 1 in 8. Poverty is directly correlated to hunger, and the poverty rate is going down. The average monthly income for those who use food assistance programs is $813 a month. The average cost of a meal in America is $3.02. New Mexico, Mississippi, and Louisiana have some of the highest rates of hunger. Okay. But we're going to send $2.9 billion to the Middle East, to Africa, wherever, because those people are more American than you are. Just saying, they're more worthy of U.S. tax dollars than we are. I'm hoping a bunch of us who watch this channel don't fall into any of these categories as food insecure. I'm betting there are some that probably do. And what hopefully works here is, even though people may live below the poverty line or whatever, those of you guys that are watching this channel at least have the foresight to do something to prep, to create your own food, to do something that is not going to cause you to be another statistic. Okay, what I can't find are these statistics on how many people in the United States die from starvation each year. That's something I'm betting is probably pretty well covered up by the government. Okay. But here's the issue that you get into. We're spending $2.9 billion in 3 months to feed the rest of the world. Yet while our food banks are empty, our grocery store prices are going up astronomically. Okay. Wheat prices are up 11%, corn prices are up 29%, and even rice prices are up 6% from last September. Those are basic staples. Most of us have certainly gone the way of reducing the quality of the food we are buying to maintain the quantity of it, okay? Whether or not somebody's buying Prego spaghetti sauce or they are buying Kroger brand spaghetti sauce, that's the first step. Then a lot of us, of course, have got to the point where, all right, I'm growing my own tomatoes and my basil and my onions and everything, and I'm making my own tomato sauce because that's the only option. Every one of you guys goes to the grocery store and knows exactly what I'm talking about. Anybody that, I love reading some of these stories where I see people go, well, it's really not that bad. There was a story out this morning where they interviewed people on the streets to see how Joe was Joe was doing as a president. And most people said he was an absolute failure. But there was a couple of people, one was in San Francisco, who gave Joe an A minus. Well, we're doing pretty good. It could be a whole lot better. You can't blame Joe for all of this. Really? So whose fault is it? And of course, well, the economy, that's Wall Street's fault. Bah, bah. No, Wall Street is reactionary to economic policies. They don't dictate them. Right? It's like, okay, stop watching CNN, turn off MSNBC, and go get an education. Go learn something. But we get into this food issue. And giving all this money away while we have hungry kids in this country is something that drives me nuts. And I think it drives a lot of you nuts. We talked about the homeless issue the other day. Where is the assistance for these people? And don't give me food stamps or whatever it would be, okay? Because again, all that is giving money that we don't have. Where's the long-term solution? Government handouts are not a solution. We've heard all the time, it's supposed to be a hand up, not a hand out, okay? Yeah, people collect food stamps, people go on welfare, unemployment, whatever it would be, and it's supposed to be a bridge to get them back on their feet. It is not supposed to be a lifestyle. Unfortunately, with the way the economy is being mismanaged, it's turning into a lifestyle. And the scary part is, this is all according to their plan. They want more people subservient, addicted to Biden bucks. There's no other way I can survive unless the government helps me. And there's a lot of people that believe that. Now, in 43 days, we have an election, okay? And Congress is inevitably going to change hands. Do you want to put your chances of living, your lifestyle, whatever would be, your standard of living, depending on who gets elected every 2 years? Because ebbs and flows. Oh, we're the party of, we're going to give you everything. And then 2 years later, we're the party of get your ass back to work and start supporting for yourself. But they told me I was going to get free food for the rest of my life. Well, they lied. Okay. This is it. The only person that you can count on in the world, only one, is yourself. Simple as that. We're pissing away money to other people to make them subservient to our government. Joe's pissing away. You and me aren't. Okay. All those sheep will eventually be led to slaughter. The problem is how many good people are getting left in the cold because they're more concerned with how American some guy is in Ghana versus how American some kid is in Houston. Pinball out.